Happy Valentine's Day. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Dr. Deb. Welcome to our special Valentine's bonus episode.
We got through it. Okay, I don't know what we're talking about.
We're talking about Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
We already have plans this year.
Yes, we do.
What do you think of those plans?
I'm excited. I like hockey.
I'm excited too. I kind of wish it wasn't on that day, but I was not about to say absolutely not because we had already made plans for a game.
Yeah.
And that had to get canceled because I assumed the tickets were sold out or something. There was I'm pretty sure it was a ticket issue. Mm-hmm. And so they could get tickets for Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. That was kind of the next game available. For tickets, and so your dad texted and said, "What about Valentine's Day?" Was I going to say absolutely not? No, because I want to go. Mm-hmm. I have other plans. I always have other plans for Valentine's Day. And so hockey is not one of them. But you know what? I'm going to make the best of it this year. Mm-hmm. We're going to have fun. We're going to hopefully go see the reptiles ahead of time.
I'm excited.
Because there's a reptile show there at the same arena, and it's leaving actually 2 days later. So we're getting in on the last minute of that reptile show, which should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But we're going to go to an ice hockey game. Mm-hmm. And this will be our first professional ice hocky game here in Switzerland. So
it's our first any professional
Well, that's true. We haven't
here.
been to any professional sports.
Or amateur sports.
That's true. We haven't. Oh my goodness. So yeah, it's we watched a lot. Mm-hmm. At different places. We've watched a lot at home. Mm-hmm. We've watched at bars. A lot of times, especially this time of year, I get to see my skiing at Valentine pub, my Britannia pub. They'll show my skiing for me and the ski jumping, which is stuff I like to watch. But yeah, this will be our first, venture into an arena, and so we're kind of excited about that, very excited. So, we'll see how that goes. And it's so funny because, we like to prepare ahead of time. So like a month ago, we were saying, we don't know the bag policy. We're trying to find the bag policy. Can you find out about the bag policy?
Well, it's not like it's not like we have these deep pockets that we can put all our stuff in.
Correct. So, I could take a fanny pack, I guess. But yeah. So I think he said he thinks we can make do without a bag. Mm-hmm. They will check our bags and stuff. So we're going to try to make do without a bag, I think. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of the route we're taking for that. But I was wondering, we're going with a friend from France, and I think that, it's going to be a lot of fun. Honestly, it's so funny because I have already been thinking about the seating arrangement.
Okay.
It's driving me crazy, all the little details that I have to have done in my head before I go. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know what you think about this, but I'm thinking friend, dad, me, you.
Yeah.
I think that's the way I want it to be. Yeah. And so, because they can talk whatever stuff they want to talk about, and
I can focus on the game. Yeah. Because I don't know. Is it just me? But like when I go to a game, I don't want to talk to people. I want to watch the game.
No. I want to watch the game. I don't want to be sitting there chit chatting. No. Now, see, if we were doing our other thing that I would prefer to do for Valentine's Day, which is go to a really nice meal, which we're not going to do. I love good conversation. I like to go out with. I love going out to a really fancy meal with just our dad, but I like going out with other people too because we talk and chit chat and stuff. But that's okay. That's not happening this year. A lot of times, like when y'all were small, we never went out for Valentine's Day.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know if you remember that. I always cooked at home. I always cooked a special meal.
I don't know.
That everybody could. A lot of times it was that meal that your auntie. Told us about from Florence, Italy. Mm-hmm. It was the angel hair pasta with the white sauce and the peas and the ham cubes. That has been a big Valentine's. Mason called it. Mason calls it ham, peas, and noodles.
Yeah.
And Mason was always our wordsmith. And he came up with words that when he was younger, he would always come up with new words, and so he came up with the name of this meal, ham, peas, noodles, and it is a delicious.
I thought like that was something everyone would call it. Like I thought that was already
there's a special.
Dish.
There's an Italian. It's an Italian dish name from this.
I always thought that was what everyone called it.
Yeah, your auntie had been to Florence and had this dish and said, "Oh, you should try this dish," and said, "This is what I remember from it." So I don't even know if it's correct. I just know that this is what she remembered from the dish, and so I put it together, and I'm telling you, from day one, it was a hit, and so I never changed the recipe. Never changed it, and so that's kind of funny because it's got that that good nutty Parmesan cheese sauce, which in America you call it Alfredo, but there's actually no such thing as Alfredo in Italy. You know, so it's just a white cream sauce. So, yeah, but with Parmesan. So you know, yeah, it's absolutely it's a delicious meal, and that's been a Valentine's meal for so many years, so many years. So, but not this year. We would not be having ham beans. I'm sorry, Mason. But maybe I have to remind Mason that that's what you know they would. We'd always a lot of times we would make. But I've made other things. I don't know if you remember this. Before we moved to Switzerland, I would make these things called Swiss enchiladas.
I remember you talking. I don't think I actually remember.
Okay, instead of the red enchilada sauce like you have with what a lot of people attribute to Mexican restaurants in the United States, this has chicken and cheeses, but not those blends of cheeses. It's more of a Swiss type cheeses, and then it has a white sauce on the outside with cream of chicken soup and these cheeses, and it's absolutely delicious. It is, and it was one of your dad's favorite meals. And so there have been Valentine's Days where I've made Swiss enchiladas.
Okay.
But you know, I just, you know, I would just, you know, whatever people's favorite meals were, I would just pick one, you know, and I would always cook. I mean, I rarely ever remember a time that we went out for Valentine's Day.
Well, the last couple Valentine's Days, I haven't actually done anything, but on the 15th, me and my friends would always go to Walgreens to get discount candy.
That is always the best thing to do, especially as college students. I think that's fantastic. Yes. Go get the discount candy.
It was the same after Halloween on November 1st. We'd go and get the discount candy.
Absolutely, as you should. That's exactly the most important thing to do on those two holidays. I agree. You know, I remember a friend of mine, just before we moved from Massachusetts, gave me a couple of nightgowns that were kind of Valentine's Day themed.
Okay.
And I still have them. I know, it's kind of weird. You know, she was cleaning out her stuff, you know, purging, you know, her clothes, and gave me a ton of stuff. And I thought, yeah, I'm leaving. You give me all your old clothes, but it was wonderful, and you know, I think of her every time. You know, I was looking for one of those gowns, and couldn't find it because my room is such a mess. But yeah. So, what are you wearing to the hockey game?
I don't know.
I don't either. I know I'm going to have to wear something with a turtleneck like this because I'll be cold. And as I've gotten older, I've noticed that when my core is cold, I cough a lot and I hurt. Like there's pain. And so I know I'll have to keep my core warm. So I know I'll have at least one vest on, maybe two.
Okay.
As long as my core is warm.
I would wear my beret, but I'm going to bring my kitty blanket, so it would just cover up my head.
Yeah, it would. So there's no point. But, you know, it'll be a lot of fun. Who knows what they're going to... I mean, I don't know. We've not been to a sporting event here. So we don't know if they do special giveaways and stuff like they do in the U.S. I mean, so many sporting events that you go to in the United States, you get kind of free stuff. And look, we've already talked about free stuff. Y'all know how I like free stuff. But we don't know if we're going to run into some kind of promotion or something there. So it'll be kind of fun. We don't know if there's cameras for like the scoreboard. Yeah, we don't know anything. So we're going to, this is definitely going to be a learning experience for us, but it'll be fun.
Yeah.
A fun learning experience. We'll take some videos and you know, throw some stuff up on YouTube and Instagram, TikTok for you guys. Absolutely. That'll be so much fun.
Why don't you just volunteer for more work for me?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Instead of talking about it.
I'm just going to volunteer you. That's all. You know, I can't help myself. You know, I just get excited and think, oh, you know, absolutely.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to get my white wine instead of having a drink of beer.
Yeah, well,
but I don't know if I'll be able to.
Yeah, I don't know because in like sporting events in the U.S., are you allowed to drink alcohol at your seats?
I know for certain. I have seen on television people drink beer in their seats. Here's the
I
thing
know at
I've
baseball
seen.
you can't.
No, I'm talking about here. I've
here.
watched hockey here.
Okay.
And I've seen people, when they go up into the stands, you see people with their beer cups.
Okay.
Also, one thing, we might get off the topic of Valentine's Day and hockey because I want to talk about this one thing. And we're gonna talk about this more once we learn a little bit and actually go to an event. I've sort of been to an event a little bit called swinging. But I know when they do this big event, because it's the big one, I think, is only every 3 years.
Okay.
They don't do it every year. But people go, and it is a Swiss event. They take their salami and their breads and their cheeses and their olives. And I mean, they just, at the event, they have, all their alcohol that they drink. And they have just almost like this big picnic. And so I've seen that, but I don't think we're going to do that. But yeah, I assume we're going to be satiated as far as food goes before we go.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Too,
I'm assuming that. Yeah. So, yeah. But I'm hoping they have a glass of wine for me. I really, really do. So, I don't know if that's what you were thinking about putting in the flask, but
I don't know.
I never put wine in my flask.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like that would be weird.
I always do Jack Daniels and Amaretto or Jim Beam and Amaretto.
I think I did. The one time I actually brought a flask somewhere, I put vodka in it. But
that's fair.
I never go anywhere that I can take a flask with me.
You go on the train. Just go on. Well, we're going tomorrow. You can take a flask. Okay. We're going to Delomo. You're going to practice your French.
I know. I should wear a beret then tomorrow also.
Absolutely.
I have another one.
Okay, you absolutely
I need some more. I was thinking I need a pink one because...
The one that we saw today was pretty. It was just a pretty winter gray. And so pretty. Yeah.
I need to wear my berets more, but I don't do my hair in a way that I can wear them usually.
Oh, well. You'll keep working on that, I guess. I assume. I used to wear hats. I used to wear hats to church. I was like I had like the serious hats with the hat boxes. And I mean, I was a serious hat lady. A lot of the young kids called me the hat lady. And I was only in my early 20s. So, I thought it was kind of funny that I had a lady title from some of the kids. But I was the hat lady, so most people knew that, so they knew not to sit behind me if they wanted to, or if they would sit behind me if they wanted to sleep. And so, that was a thing too. But yeah, I, when I was younger, before I was married, I'm telling you, I dressed to the nines. And I, at social events, I was always dressed what I thought was, called for. And, I would never go to a social event in jeans. Oh,
jeans dressing up.
And I've changed a lot since. But, I think that your father thought I was a little too pretentious in the way I dressed when I first met him.
I like dressing up, but I don't really go anywhere that I can dress that I.
Well, it's just like you told me. What does that matter? When I was saying I wanted to start wearing my makeup again, and you said, "What is that?" You don't have
but
to
I
go
mean, I
anywhere.
don't go anywhere. I just stay here.
Well, tomorrow you're going somewhere.
Yeah.
Because I'm making you. But I think it'll be fun. I think, like I said, I really want you to practice your French and see how that goes. And let's get serious about this, taking this language exam. For some reason, it was brought to my attention that maybe you couldn't do that in Solothurn.
Oh.
Because of where you live is German speaking. But I don't know if that's true. We need to ask.
Yeah.
We need to ask somebody who knows. So, because I thought, it's going to be such a great opportunity for you. Because I think that that is the first foreign language that you learned, and you love it. And so, and it does feel, I hate to say it feels sophisticated to be able to speak another language, other than English.
French is much nicer than German, too. German sounds so angry.
Your French teacher said the exact same thing. When I was leaving, she said, "So are you moving to a part where they speak French or where they speak German?" I said, "Well, I'm moving to a German speaking." She said, "They always sound like they're trying to clear their throat and they're so angry." That's exactly what she said.
Yeah.
And she said, "But, when we speak French, it's always so caring and so nice." But yeah, she was funny.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually in the area last summer, I think. And I tried to, well, not too close to us, but enough that I was willing to travel to her. But, we didn't get in touch with each other in time. Her, I told you, her phone died. So it was awful. But, she had to navigate around a foreign country, just her and her son, and with no phone. So, but they got it figured out.
Yeah. I love French.
So what do you remember in French? What can you say to me?
No, I don't know. I know. Bonjour, comment ça va?
That's so fast. What? Bonjour.
Bonjour, comment ça va?
Oh, how am I doing? Okay, I remember it a little bit. I didn't know if I'd remember how to say it.
Same.
But I remember it when you said
Oui,
it to
très
me.
bien.
Oui?
Très bien.
Toi?
Très
Très
bien.
bien.
Yeah. Yes, very
Oui?
good.
Très bien.
Yeah.
Très is very? Okay.
Or plus ou moins, which is like so.
Okay.
Or non pas très bien. Pas bien. Sorry, not good. Say non pas bien.
Non, pas bien.
Not very good. No,
Okay.
not good.
Non, pas bien.
I don't think you have to say yes or no before you answer, but I don't know. I think it sounds better when you say like oui, très bien. Non, pas bien.
I remember. Here's what I remember. So, your dad did much better than I did in French in college. In fact, he even did an independent study with our professor. And so, we were in Lausanne, and it was after a hike, so we were looking for a snack. And we were not gonna. They didn't have the big macarons, and we weren't gonna do that anyway because it was late, and so we just needed a little something. So we were gonna get croissant, and so we go down to the bakery, and it's like he could not remember how to say it in French, and so I had to say, "Du croissant, s'il vous plaît."
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Oh my God, that came out of my mouth." And she was so excited. She said, "Oh, we okay?" do. And I think it was so funny because I think she knew, she could see the exchange between the two of us, that I was expecting him to order it. And then he was trying to think, how do I say this in French? And it just seemed, even though it was probably less than a second, it seemed like 30 seconds. So I just blurted it out. And so I think that it might not have gone over so well with everybody, but it was kind of funny. I think that she thought it was funny.
I'm trying to remember. I know je m'appelle Brooke. Like I can say my name is. I remember je m'appelle. But I can't remember how to ask. Is it? I can't remember how to ask the question. I have it on one of my flashcards.
Parlez-vous français?
No. Like what is your name?
Oh yeah.
Is it? It's on one of my flashcards.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny.
Qu'est-ce que... No. It starts with Q.
Okay.
All the questions start with Q usually.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't learn any tricks. And my accent is so strong that every language I try to speak, if I can't catch on to kind of like, I don't know if you'd call it pitch or intonation or whatever, if I don't catch on to that and do not practice in an original accent, then I'm not understood by locals.
Well, I find for like working on accents, it's easier if you know how the alphabet is.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense a lot. Yeah, so yeah, so I've tried that, but I kind of get knocked down by some people who think I'm trying to be pretentious. I'm not trying to. And also, there's been a lot in, especially since this I'm not blaming everything on social media, but since we've all just grown so accustomed to social media, when someone says something and they're trying to sound correct, because if I say Puerto Rico, people, if I were in Puerto Rico and said Puerto Rico, they wouldn't necessarily catch on that that's what I'm saying. So you say Puerto Rico, and so, but then when you say Puerto Rico to somebody who's from Puerto Rico, but you're in the U.S., they think you're trying to, and so there's this dynamic of, are you being racist? Are you being, and it never, I just want people to know, never am I. I really have to have that accent down pat, or people aren't going to understand what I'm saying. And trust me, I know that from being here. When I try to say the number 12, zwoof, zwoof, zwoof,
zwoof,
zwoof.
Zv, because it's ZW, so it's V.
Zv. Zwoof.
Zwoof.
Zwoof. And so I would say, zwoof centimeter. We're talking about the cake. And she'd say, I'll never get that, saying that number every single time. Locals do not understand me. Do not understand. They do not understand that I'm saying 12. And it frustrates me because I'm trying so hard. And yet, you don't want to come across as kind of like you're trying to mimic or make fun of the accent, but you want to be understood. And trust me, if you're not understood, they immediately go to English, and you don't get to practice the language that they want you to know. You can't live here if you don't know it, but I'm not going to practice it with you.
You've gone way off topic.
I know. Sorry. We did get off topic. So, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm going to probably cut a lot of that out.
No, you don't have to cut all that. But anyway, I'm just saying, it just kind of, here's the thing. What Valentine's Day things, other than getting the discounted candy, what else? What have you done? Fun?
Nothing really.
Do you ever think of Valentine's Day as pretentious? Like I'm talking about pretentious accents.
No, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I was dressing like pink and red and purple.
Yeah, I think that's fun, because I definitely most of the time on Valentine's Day will wear something in that hue, the reds, the pinks. Yeah, absolutely. I will. My color palette will definitely reflect what I think of Valentine's Day. But yeah.
I've never really had a reason to do anything on Valentine's Day though. So
yeah, well, I know, because a lot of people think of it as, definitely. I guess that's what it is, Sweetheart Day or whatever. But I think that we also need to get to the point that we love ourselves enough that we treat ourselves to something good.
Yeah, but I don't have the money for that.
Well, that's the thing. That takes money, right? But absolutely, But if you could, I would hope that you would. I remember, before I was married, I bought myself jewelry. I wasn't waiting on somebody else to do it. If I wanted something and I had the money, I did it. I was not one. I didn't learn how to save. So, if I made money, I spent money. I definitely took your brother out. When he was little, and we went out. I took him out to places to, to teach him how to be in public and just so that he would not be unable to. I wanted him to be able to be in society and be polite and things like that. So we definitely, I went out. I spent money. So and I know that's not. I know that's a big problem with what I'm ready to do. But it just. And I do think of Valentine's. I do think of the spending money on that day. But I used to always get you kids. You always had candy. I always bought you a chocolate for Valentine's Day. In fact, your oldest brother, before I was married, there was this chocolate set that was the letter I, a big chocolate I, a huge heart, and a big letter U. And there was this set every year. And every year I'd get him that set. And he absolutely loved it. Just loved it. I just thought that was so great. And I thought, It's, I didn't think it was anything, but to him, it was everything. And it was important, so, So, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I could find that and get it sent to him. That would be kind of funny if I could. I don't know if I can.
Don't know.
That'd be nice if I could do that. But, I mean, his wife's birthday, well, it's coming up in about 4 years, but this year we'll celebrate early. Yeah. So I guess it's 3 more years before she'll have another birthday. But, so yeah, I need to be looking online for gifts anyway. So maybe I'll look for that chocolate. It's so funny. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, Valentine's Day is, I can remember before I was married, I remember just like talk shows and stuff would do, these jilted lover shows on Valentine's Day, stuff like that, or at least that week during that time. And, just horrible stuff. And I remember some church services dedicated to singles during Valentine's Day, which is, bizarre for me. It was bizarre for me. But Valentine's Day was always, where I grew up, you either did it or you didn't. I mean, and you did it if you had, a partner, and if you didn't, well, you just kind of steered clear of everything. And I wish I had known better, because I would have treated myself every time. Because I've been working since I was 14 years old, so I've always worked, and so yeah, I definitely would have taken myself out if I'd have known better. I hope all people will. I mean, if if it comes to that, so it's I've had some good Valentine's Day and not so good Valentine's Days. I think that's probably everybody. Yeah. Good Christmas is bad Christmas. Good Halloween's bad Halloween's. I guess that comes good birthdays, bad birthdays. I don't know. But it could be a lot of fun. I think I know that it's a huge day for florists in the United States. They make a ton of money on that day and the days leading up to that. So yeah. And the candy shops, especially chocolate. Champagne. Oh, we should get champagne for Friday. Oh, yeah. That's what we should do, is get champagne.
Champagne and caviar. I think you can find it here sometimes, but it's really expensive.
Yeah, I don't.
Have you ever had caviar?
I think I have. It's very salty, from what I remember. But that's all I remember is, and I don't know if it was the cracker that it was on that was salty, or if it was the caviar, or if they were both salty. But that's all I remember is just this dark stuff on a cracker.
Okay, I remember.
And I don't even remember if I bit through it or if I just put the whole thing in my mouth. I honestly don't remember anything.
Okay.
So probably a fear of, and just stuck the whole thing in my mouth. But anyway, but what about you? When did you have caviar?
When Jana and I were in New York, right before we moved, at the tea place, one of the things on it was caviar. Yeah.
And did you have it on something or just from a spoon?
I think it was on a cracker or something. Because that's how you're supposed to eat it, right?
Yeah.
You put it
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that was really good.
Okay, so you guys had caviar. Nice. That's nice. Well, when we had tea in London, we did not have caviar. We only had sweets.
There was savory dishes.
I don't remember the savory at all.
There's always savory dishes when you have tea.
Okay, well, when we have our tea party on here.
Yeah, we'll have to do our tea
Well, I want to do the Scotch egg. I want Dad to make me Scotch eggs. But, yeah, I don't know how to do that. But, okay. So, this was fun for us, talking about little Valentine's stuff. So thank you for listening, and we hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day.
Don't forget to tune in on Sunday for our regular weekly episode.